taking it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. A little bit of a delayed start, but here we are. It's Saturday.
Late.
It's 8 o'clock Eastern. And on Saturday and at 8 o'clock Eastern, no matter where you are in the world, there's a lot of people doing some dirty deeds, some
Smoking.
unfortunate habits. Fiscal, would you like to inform me on some of these habits people are doing? Not here right now.
Smoking, vaping, drinking the alcohols. Doing drugs.
Yep, not good stuff. You could even say they're doing drugs, not dividend stocks.
The opposite of what we preach. The opposite of what we preach.
That's what the other people are doing. But if you're here on 8 o'clock Eastern every Saturday, you have a lot of good stuff going on for you. You're most likely swole.
Most likely.
You're informed about, finances and all the money you're going to be making. You're going to be doing a lot of winning, that's for sure.
Yes, you're going to be winning more than Charlie Sheen.
Yep.
All
right. So, unfortunately, everybody, we have some big guests lined up, and Dividend Dude was supposed to come on tonight, bailed on us late. Not our fault. But we have some big guests. If anybody wants to take a couple shots, if you're watching at it, we have some big guests coming up for the next, 2-3 weeks upcoming here. And then hopefully if we hit 100 subscribers soon, we'll provide a treat for you guys. All right. Yeah. Welcome in everybody. We got Frank in the chat. It's a good night when Frank is here.
Always a party.
Frank, Cash Flow Kings is the best thing to be listening to when you're working. We got CG in here, Dave72, Noob Crunch predicts a strong win. You'll never know. Joseph Carlson. That's funny.
Right. You busted us.
Yeah, you got our secret little thing. We got Roberto in here. This is a good chat to start off the night. But let's introduce ourselves to start off first. Some people may be new here, Fiscal. Some people may not be, have been on that lifestyle of doing dividend stocks, not drugs. So
unbelievable.
Fiscal,
I don't believe it.
Where can people find you?
Well, they can go ahead and find me on my channel. It goes by the same name, actually. And I think we have it linked down below, don't we?
We always have it linked down below.
That's fabulous. So you can find me there. You can watch my videos. You can watch my videos about MPW and PayPal.
Yep.
And others.
Oh, we have some stocks to cover this week. We have some good viewer questions, some great segments to go over tonight. Some unfortunate stocks that are going down, some stocks that are going up. It's going to be a good one. But if you're new here, you already know what I'm about to plug. The Do Dividend Stocks Drugs merchandise. The best look. We're matching tonight.
That's a coincidence.
Oh,
what is this?
That's what real men wear on this channel. A lot of people wish they had this. Fiscal, I've heard rumors of people at the gym giving you, silent compliments, as the kids say.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everybody at the gym can't take their eyes off me. If somebody needs a spot for that new PR on the bench press, who do you think they're asking?
They're not asking.
Or
do you got Under Armour shirt on? They're not asking you.
They're not asking Jeremy Lefebvre, that's for sure.
They certainly aren't. I don't think they'd trust him. They aren't trusting Joseph Carlson. That's 100%.
Nope. Now, he would definitely drop the weights, if you know what I mean.
Welcome in, everybody, though. It's going to be a fun night tonight. We got a lot of topics to go over. You guys already know where to find me. The link's in the description. We got some good stuff to go over. Before that, smash the like button. Make sure to hit RKO that like button. Knock that TKO that like button. Give it a whack. Really helps us out on the channel. We've been growing it. We appreciate the support a whole lot. We're almost near 100. It felt like not that long ago we were saying maybe we'll get 50 by the end of October.
Praying for 50.
But now we're going bigger. We're going home. So welcome in, everybody.
Yep. And I've heard the good things happen when we hit 100.
Very good thing. It can only go up, right? It can only go up.
Just like your favorite stocks, we only go up.
Yep. All right, to start off the show, we're going for a little bit of a more formal format, but still, if you guys have any questions, we'd be happy to talk about them. Fiscal earnings week is coming up. They're like the real earnings season. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that you wake up for, that you get
not just a couple banks, but like some real stuff.
The stuff that you can make YouTube shorts and milk it for.
Yeah, of course.
Are you predicting, just very broadly, next couple weeks for stuff to keep coasting? We're going up, we're going green, or are you expecting some bloody waters?
So I'm gonna go ahead and say Bloody Waters.
Oh,
I'm an
the inner
eternal
value
pessimist.
investor.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
when there's blood in the water, that's when opportunity knocks, my friend.
Yeah. I'll say this. It feels like every day where I hate, I hate reaching all-time highs, truthfully. And you got to have that programmed into you, I think as a real man's investor,
Right.
you don't want stocks to be going up. Sure,
Mm-mm.
it's cute on paper. If your stock's financials are going up, that's what you want. You want the
Mm.
free cash flow and all that good stuff going up, but you don't want the price going up. It
Mm-mm.
pains me that Microsoft is going up. It makes me sad inside.
Pains me too. It makes me think I'll never get a good opportunity to buy it.
Hey, maybe one day. Even Visa might come down sometimes. We got Noob Crunch saying, "What do you mean? Nvidia is an infinite money machine." Unfortunately,
I've heard
it
that.
appears it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it's impossible. It's impossible for it to go down, which makes it really weird that Paul from Everything Money has shorted it.
Oh, speaking of, I'm doing a research project on government inside trading,
Mm.
and I may or may not be like 2 weeks behind on it, but we don't focus on that. So Nancy Pelosi a few weeks ago, she
Yeah,
did some puts. She did some puts on Nvidia, and she's
she
up a
bought puts.
ridiculous amount. Yeah, I believe she bought puts. I'll pull up the screenshot if I can here. I
All
saved
right,
my photo.
I take it back, everybody. Short Nvidia.
Yeah, shh.
Nancy Pelosi literally cannot lose because they
Yeah.
passed the laws.
She did a $5 million call option purchase that's already up
Oh,
23% since she filed it on 12/20/23.
okay.
That's
Calls means you think it's going to go up, though.
okay. My apologies. I was off the top of
Yeah,
my head, everybody. Don't hold me to it. Don't hold me to it.
yeah.
Nancy Pelosi, though.
I take it back, everybody.
Yeah.
Go long on Nvidia.
Shh. That's Nvidia's. Ugh. Nvidia. I might be a little overvalued. Might be a little bit.
Just a tad, yeah. And people laugh at me about Intel, but I think it's still, pretty reasonably priced.
Hey, I made a video. I'm gonna give a little spoiler here. I made a video on what stocks to avoid and like some of the qualities in it. Intel's in it, but only for one reason. Only for one reason. It's because of its capital intensive business structure. I personally
Mhm.
don't like that. But I think otherwise, you gotta for Intel, especially with like the kind of competition they're in and the value that they were at, I think that it might have been something definitely to sacrifice, you could say.
I
But
mean, I mean,
I don't think Intel's horrible whatsoever.
all right.
Oh, this is fake news. I'm starting a series where I'm going over Reddit portfolios and making reactions to that, and I think that's actually gonna be fun.
Yeah, I've thought about dipping my toe into the Reddit content because I used to spend a lot of time on Wall Street Bets,
Mhm.
like especially in my early days because like I thought that their fake DD was so interesting. And oh
Fake
boy, if you
Yeah.
only read that, you will be led so astray.
It's like the Jeremy where you take pictures of people buying tattooed chef. It's
Yeah,
kinda like
yeah,
that.
their DD is like so similar to the Jeremy style DD. It's ridiculous.
I wanna set that up in the Discord, like people taking pictures of people. It'd be half creepy, but it'd also be kind of funny. Just like take a picture of somebody holding a Celsius bottle or Starbucks, and you get like 15% off merch or something. That'd be a pretty good setup there.
By the way, this is Target brand.
Oh no.
Yeah, favorite day cola.
Actually?
Yeah,
That's
actually.
why no, I didn't even know that. Oh, I feel horrible shareholder. I knew they had their own like clothing. I didn't know
Yeah.
beverage.
Oh, and I've got 5 pints of their favorite day ice cream in my refrigerator. I'm loading
Oh,
up for your dividend, buddy.
that it's full circle here on the channel. I have a big grin on my face at the moment. Target stock. If we want to talk about
Hey,
Target, I'm all
hey,
up. I'm all.
I bought their brand specifically so more money would go to you.
It's more money that Target's gonna be saving at the end of the day.
Mhm.
I've been hearing some Target slander come back, and I'm ready to attack. I defended the stock with my life, and I remember these things.
Sure, sure. But yeah.
I
So,
remember.
yep, that's what I did.
Yep.
I go there, get it, goes full circle. It's fabulous. It tastes wonderful too. Not sponsored.
I remember. Hopefully one day. That'd be our dream sponsorship. Ideally, is if we get like a Target or like a Starbucks sponsorship. But that's only possible if you guys hit that like button. But no,
Right.
Target. We'll talk a little bit about Target. I feel like Target hasn't been in the news as much recently.
No.
It hasn't been falling. It's kind of like just lingering in that 130, 140 range, which I like a lot. I like when Target's not in the
when
not
it
in the
lingers,
spotlight.
that lets you keep building your position. No all-time highs,
Mhm.
not high after high after high. You can just keep building if you like the price where it is.
Now, to show my truthful thoughts, my honest thoughts, my honesty to all you guys, because I'll even compare it to the S&P 500. Hell, I'm currently still down around 8% on my target position. But with that said, I'm reinvesting dividends at the moment. I'm very happy where they're at. I think that they're still intrinsically a little undervalued. With that said, I still think it could, but I could totally see a world where it falls more. So we're holding Target for now, reinvesting those dividends, free money, as the kids say. And yeah, oh, stop it. We got Citizen of the Year, avid guest, avid. We did a good episode with Citizen of the Year, everybody. If you're a Tesla shareholder,
please, by all means, if you have Tesla, you need to go back and watch that live stream.
Your thoughts will be changed.
Unfortunately, you might get mad, but once you're done throwing feces at the screen, because I assume that you're not very intelligent if you buy Tesla. But once you're done throwing your feces, get over your anger and really think about what everybody was saying on that one.
Yeah, we got to have Cody back on the channel sometime. That was a fun live.
It was very nice.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have some guests lined up. Dividend Dude bailed on us tonight. We're gonna remember that next time he comes on. So just keep
the
that
North
in mind.
Remembers, sir.
Uncertified financial rouser, another certified guest on the channel, candidate for best name of the year, Target Mid. And that's a very common thought amongst the investing community, it appears. And I understand the argument that said, when you're looking at Target qualitatively, I've said before, I think it is a B to A tier kind of business. I don't think it's like a Costco whatsoever. But I thought it was way undervalued at 106, 110. So it's panned out well for me. Target is an AI company. Go to the moon. Trust. Absolutely.
As is Domino's and Kroger, both AI companies.
Yes, absolutely. Starbucks too. Don't forget Starbucks.
Starbucks is basically a bank, I've heard.
I've heard they have slave-like working conditions, but that's another episode. I want to have a Starbucks union leader on the channel. That'd be like a dream. That'd be a dream.
I have a feeling that they probably wouldn't agree.
I'd like. Oh, I think I'd get a little too heated. That's like one of the things that like genuinely kind of pisses me off. Like nothing really gets me mad, but like you start getting on a roll about Starbucks unionization and complaining about stuff. That's definitely gets me a little mad. 49ers or Green Bay? Green Bay.
I have to say Green Bay as well.
We're voting Green Bay on the channel. All right. Guff asks, what do you expect to hear from Target this year to make its stock value rise? I would say, you know what? Them staying out of drama. As long as they stay out of drama, and if you look at their last few earnings, they have done nothing but beat. And that is something I'd love to see as a shareholder. But unfortunately, it appears that a lot of their drama has kind of like been a dark cloud over that. If they stay out of the whole pride situation again, it would be nice. I'd get a nice little bit of a dip there, but I think I already had my dip with, Target. Yeah, nope, they've had quality earnings. As long as nothing horrible, just stay in line with earnings, stay out of drama. That's all I'd like.
I think Bud Light mainly took the bullet for them, and they need to just take that W and just back away slowly and move on.
Target they were a victim. They were a big victim, but Bud Light was the main one, I think. You weren't on Twitter enough to see the Target slander that was going on.
Yeah, it's true.
How do you feel about Luckin China coffee in China? I'll let you go here. I don't know much about this. I've heard of it for sure, but I don't know.
I've literally never heard of it. So, I mean, I have nothing against China as far as investing in stocks there. In fact,
China.
In fact, Alibaba is a dividend stock now.
So, yeah. I will say this about China and coffee. Starbucks has a lot of growth potential in China,
Yes,
but
they do.
there is risk there. There's big risk
There
there.
is.
The
There is. Yeah.
government, the
Relying on
government's not been very good for them recently.
relying on that Chinese growth path. Like if you fear China and you're like not in Alibaba or whatever for those reasons, you got to be worried about a lot of Starbucks future growth relying on
Absolutely.
China. Yeah.
I will say this though, and this is coming off of my very, very definitely analytics, crazy financial DCF models and all that. I think if Starbucks, I do think there's a discount on Starbucks right now because of that China, I think a lot of people are fearful of China. I'll be honest. And I don't blame them.
Right. If
It's
they
definitely
weren't,
very sketchy sometimes.
I mean, you're absolutely right on that. If they weren't fearful of China, I don't think Alibaba would be as cheap as it is today.
Absolutely. And I think if Starbucks' China growth actually goes through, I've covered this a lot. I think their stock is still pretty undervalued. And a lot of people are saying it's overvalued right now still. They want to see it at $70 again. I'm looking at you, Paul, from Everything Money. But yeah, no. In all
I mean,
seriousness.
at least pay 75 for it. Stop being a cheapskate, Paul. You got so
Yeah.
much money. You're richer than all of us.
Yeah. No, I think Starbucks, another thing with that uncertified financial advisor, Starbucks will have good growth in India too. Starbucks, there's a town in China with 480,000 people that doesn't have a Starbucks yet in China. So a lot of if you listen to the earnings call and the interviews with the CEO, there's very bullish on this company. Yeah, I did see there was a lot of headlines around growth in India too. I think China is the big one though right now to focus on, but that could be kind of like a hidden gem, you could say. Luckin got exposed as a scam and got delisted. That's nice. I bet that adds to why a lot of people are afraid of investing in China. Frank remembers. Ooh, this is a good one. Pepsi stock at 52-week lows.
Ooh. Is it in value territory though?
No, their fair value, if you actually look at it, it's probably like $20.
What are they trading for right now?
Coke. It's around where like Coke, that P range.
Oh, 165.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 27 PE or something like that. Yeah.
I might look at exiting out of Pepsi at some point. I have a very micro position compared to everything. It's just
Yeah.
I hate selling at 52-week low. I'm in the gains with it though. So
yeah, I think with Pepsi and Coke, it's like they seem as businesses like ones where you'd want the multiple to be mid to high teens to be anywhere near reasonable. Yet, consistently they are overpriced.
Yeah, sometimes you got to trade the premium, but I just don't know if the growth is there to kind of back up that premium. Or like Costco, a company that at least the growth kind
of for enough growth. Yeah, 25, 27, whatever is probably worth it for enough growth. But Pepsi ain't it.
Yeah. Roberto asks, are you guys looking into any niche companies? I'm looking at small and mid cap opportunities.
So
what do we call TKO a niche company?
So there's a company called P10 Inc. Symbol is PX. Somebody on my channel or on my Discord recently brought it up that they were starting a position on that, and so I'm starting to scratch the surface on looking into it. It's only a 1 billion market cap, but
what do we consider small to mid cap? Like what would be the max you think?
I mean, I think 1 billion definitely falls in that range.
Yeah. TKO is nowhere. TKO is 13.42 billion. So.
And I've got a decent sized position in Smith and Wesson as well. Yeah. But yeah, that P10 Inc. company is I don't know that I understand much about what they do, and that's like the hurdle for me.
Circle of competence.
Yeah, well, the person in my Discord that's in it used to do private equity stuff.
Oh,
a kind of that management consulting type stuff. And so I think he knows so much about it, and this company is into that kind of stuff. So I think he can probably read what they're doing and feel very comfortable that he understands all of it. And I still have some learning to do before I'd be comfortable.
Pepsi is an AI company. I'm sure they're using robotics to their advantage. 3% starting yield. Yeah, I mean, Pepsi's payout ratio is high, though. It's up there. If I remember off the top of my head, maybe it's adjusted. I haven't checked in like a year, but it's high. It's like 80, 85%, somewhere there in there. So I'm going to double
That
check
does seem
that real
kind of
quick.
high.
For a company like Pep, they've like grown their dividend like somewhat aggressively, like for them too recently. Like, I remember their last hike was like 10%.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
84%
geez. Free
payout
cash
ratio.
flow payout ratio, 110%. Oh,
According to stock analysis, it's 84% on Pepsi.
I have, yeah, that was from December 2021. I'm seeing, and then the EPS payout ratio is around 70%. But still, it's like since like 2018, it's never been below 80%. So that's a bit of a concern for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and let's face it. If I go to a restaurant and I ask for a Diet Coke and they say, "Oh, we only have Pepsi products," I am 100% disappointed. I'm just getting water.
Does Texas Roadhouse have Coke or Pepsi?
It's Coke.
Which one is it? Coke. All right, real
Yeah.
man. It's a real man's restaurant.
Come on, I have class and standards here.
Yeah. Coke had an AI drink at one point. I bought it. I know they have like robotics. They have like the self-serve, I'm sure. Ooh, Frank likes Pepsi. Everybody, do you prefer Coke or Pepsi? Let's
The drink, the actual.
yeah, the drink, not the stock. Because we all know it's Pepsi, the stock at the end of the day. Costco has Pepsi, of course it does. That's why Joey C invested in it. He likes anything not fun. All right, we have Roberto saying Coke. I don't like soda, so I don't think it would be fair for me to say. I've never got into it, so it's a good addiction. Yeah, we got 2 Cokes already, and I'm fairly certain Coke will be
Hey, fellow Coke Zero addict right here.
Oh, that's how you got to get swole in the gym at the end of the day. And it's not wearing the Do Dividend Stocks on Drugs merch. It makes you look bigger, but you got to actually build up some muscle in the butt. Dave72 says Pepsi, regular Coke, Diet Pepsi, Coke, Pepsi by far. Yeah, I can agree. It seems like 75-25% split between Coke and Pepsi.
Expected.
Yeah. All right. Do you know what tonight is?
Saturday night.
Obviously. It comes after the Cash Flow Kings that isn't on Sunday. It's UFC 297, baby.
I was gonna guess some type of UFC thing, but I didn't really know.
We've been chatting a whole lot about UFC, especially uncertified financial rouser. I'm getting excited. I'll be honest. I feel they're getting a lot more star power on the roster. UFC 300 is going to be a free cash flow printing machine. People are going to be buying the pay-per-views left and right. And I want to talk about a point, which is illegal streaming. Now, I don't know you personally, but illegal streaming is something that I think is very easily accessible. Not that I've ever done it before, not that I've ever been exposed to that for a multitude of years now, or not that I've ever participated. But Rezi made a great point in the Discord, which join the Discord in the description. He made the good point that a lot of their earnings are probably being eaten away right now by, illegal streaming and a lot of that, and 75% of the market or 75% of the revenue is from, pay-per-views and media, like online and digital. How much of a concern would that be for you if you were going to ever invest in like TKO or a media-based business like that?
I mean, I think it's already pretty well priced in. They earn what they earn, right? They're still like, I don't think a lot of the people that buy the pay-per-view are going to switch to the, illegal streaming. But if they crack down on the streaming, some of those people might end up switching to actually buying the pay-per-view at some point.
I don't know if they're cracking down on it though.
Well,
That's what they say. They say it, but from experience,
so I think there's only upside if some of the streaming can be curtailed, in that they could unlock some of those additional earnings more than downside of, the illicit streaming getting worse. Because I think with technology where it is now, people who want to get things for free have as many options as they've ever had in the history of, ever since like Napster kind of opened that door.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that that is going to necessarily get worse. I think if anything, things will get cracked down on it. It might get harder to access those streams if they lobby the right governments and, that kind of thing. You'll never get rid of it completely.
Yeah.
But I think a good business finds ways to adapt to that. I mean, the music industry, had to have a kind of a, special moment where they had to realize, okay, the cat's out of the bag. People want their music digitally now.
Yeah.
And so now you've got, your iTunes and your Spotify and everything. And I mean, I don't even think about trying to download music in this day
Yeah.
and age. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because Spotify, like, I don't even know how much it is every month. And I can just listen to almost any song I want.
On YouTube for free.
Or on YouTube, yeah. But Spotify is what I use.
You save a whole lot of money. All right. New segment that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Our bull and our bear stocks of the week. This is where we each choose one stock that has been rather getting pumped up or pumped down in price over the last week. We have to talk about it, whether we're buying, whether we're selling. Fiscal, would you like to go first, or do I need to give you more time to prepare?
I think you should go first. This is a tough choice.
All right. Do we want to start with the bull or the bear?
Well, let's start with the bull.
The bull? The bull this week is Microsoft, stock ticker MSFT. Microsoft is a company that I invested in for its cloud-based subscription business and its gaming segment. But unfortunately, now they're an AI company, and I can't buy the stock at a good price ever again. Yeah, I like Microsoft. I loaded up already, and I'm up really well on it, and hope it goes down sometime.
Yeah. Well, what's your bear?
The bear thesis, I have two.
No, your bears.
I know, I have two.
Okay.
We have one, MPW. I had to bring it up because it's a 50-50 chance they're going to go bankrupt.
Yeah, you're sounding more and more like double D's every day over here, buddy.
No, MPW, they've had a rough week, obviously. We've heard rumors of you possibly putting the house on it, you could even say. And we also betting the farm, as the kids say. And
that was hypothetical if the share price fell to $1.
And I think MPW was a little too easy, so I added Nike in there. Nike's also been getting beat up a little recently. They're trading near $100. I'd like Nike a lot near 90. I'd definitely be open to dumping some money in there. So those are my bull and bear stocks of the week. I'm not touching MPW, by the way. I didn't clarify.
Well, let me give you my bull. And I think this will be pretty obvious if anybody watches my channel, but probably PayPal this week.
I was gonna say that too.
Yeah, and I just wanted to double check that Intel hadn't really took off before I made my final decision, because they're up a little bit too, but PayPal is by far up more. So yeah, PayPal, I think the reason that they're going up isn't because anything has really fundamentally changed, but their CEO said that they're going to shock the world.
I saw that. I saw your video on it.
And if it disappoints, it's probably going to be the bear next week.
Imagine Pat Gelsinger said that. We're going to shock the world
with our competitive dividend. So here's my bear, and I don't have any of this stock, obviously.
I know what it's going to be already. I know what
Spirit
it's going to be.
Airlines, ticker
Spirit
SAVE.
Airlines.
Yeah. The day after I made my video on them, they had a slight uptick in their share price, but overall, their share price has just absolutely collapsed because a judge blocked JetBlue from buying them out.
Yeah, I saw that.
And their financials are so bad.
It's a little rough.
If they don't get bought out, probably in the next year, there probably will be no Spirit Airlines anymore.
I pray for all the
that one, by the way, that one really is probably 50-50. It's going to be bankrupt.
Yeah, I don't invest in airlines in the first place, and after looking at Spirit, that's reaffirmed my thesis. I will say I do like JetBlue as a consumer. I think that's a really nice experience that they have.
Yeah, I think it would have. It would have probably improved things for the consumer if JetBlue would have been able to buy them.
Absolutely.
And the judge blocking it because it's anti-competitive. Well, what's going to happen if Spirit goes bankrupt? That's still one less competitor in the market, and all those pilots and flight attendants potentially out of jobs and stuff. That judge's a cock. Just
Yeah,
putting it
smug
out there.
cock. Yeah,
Well,
that
I don't know
pisses me
about
off
that.
too. I if I owned Spirit, that would piss me off. Um, I take my statement back on JetBlue. The experience has been nice, but one time, there was. This is not the story of the fat drunk guy. If you guys have heard of it, this is. I think a few years ago. You know how they have like the vomit bags.
Mhm.
Went in there just to look at it, and it was full. They didn't
Oh
change
no.
it out, and that was just nasty. So
So actually,
hopefully you guys aren't eating.
I flew Spirit not long ago.
Oh boy.
And my flight got delayed because they had to do some quote unquote additional cleaning.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So yeah.
Additional cleaning, or you don't want to crash. That's the.
No. It was additional. Like somebody
Oh.
had some type of bodily function in the
Oh.
plane. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah, that's a problem,
and
Spirit.
everybody like waiting to board was like talking about like, I hope it wasn't my seat.
Oh. Yeah, it's all fun and games until you look at your seat and you just see a whole lot of white marks. Like it's just all like wet with like complete like the DNA.
Resolve or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
nice.
sprayed down.
All right. If you guys didn't know already, if you're not on the Discord or don't follow us on Twitter already at Mr. Macho Mog and the Ryan Dangler Show.
Trying to get
We
100
have-
followers on
Yeah, we're trying to get 100 followers. I'm like 5 away, so go do that.
I'm like 80 away or something.
But we do have viewer questions now. You guys can pre-send in your questions. We'll go over them. We'll talk about them in the chat. So on Twitter, we'll go over our first question of the week, which is from Wise Al. And he asked, what are our thoughts on the Moat ETF? Now, I'd honestly never heard of the Moat ETF, so I pulled it up, and we're going to go over a bit of the holdings here, share honest thoughts. But basically, the goal of the ETF is to find companies that are moats. They have competitive advantages. And you guys notice how you don't see Crocs in here? I think that's a little funny.
I think that might be an oversight.
Yeah. Yeah, they meant to buy Crocs. So we're going to go over some of the biggest holdings here. Salesforce, Equifax, Masco Corporation, Tyranny, Gilead, U.S. Bancorp, Tyler Technologies, Keysight Technologies, Intercontinental Exchange, and a bunch of stuff that I really don't consider moats, to be honest. I'll view all here. We got Google in here. That's a respectable holding. I could view that as moat. Disney, I like that.
Okay. Disney, I will agree with, and it said Google as well.
Yeah, Alphabet right here.
Is Moat the ticker for the ETF?
Yeah.
Is it the Morningstar Wide Moat ETF?
I think I'm looking right now. It is, yeah, the morning. Yeah, yes.
Okay. I'm just getting my own copy of them pulled up
Etsy,
right now.
Campbell Soup Company, TransUnion, Nike, Pfizer.
Okay.
That's a moat. I don't know, but I don't like Pfizer.
It doesn't mean they don't have a moat though, just because you don't like them. I mean,
I don't know.
I think they have a pretty strong, as far as my understanding of it goes, pipeline. They have a lot of
underperformance. I'm joking.
I mean, a lot of
drugs.
Well, a lot of drugs that they have, I think, still quite a lot of time left on the patents and such, and it's really hard to build up that IP and to have the ability to go through all the clinical trials and stuff they go through. I mean, there are a few other drug companies out there that can compete with them.
I'm
but
getting the heat now.
It's
Frank. Why don't I like Pfizer? Do you want me to go off of the Moat ETF? I'd like to cover the Moat ETF. I'll talk about why I don't like Pfizer after. You gotta remind me.
I am weirded out a little bit also that they consider U.S. Bancorp a moat.
Yeah, there's some weird holdings.
They're just a bank. Like I mean, granted, I guess in that way, wouldn't any like major bank kind of be a moat? Like,
I'm surprised there's no Canadian banks either. We got to talk about that with our next guest. Wink, wink.
Why not Bank of America or JP Morgan Chase? If you're so keep going through the list.
Microsoft, Estee Lauder, Joseph Carlson, I'm sure just creamed himself. BlackRock, I could see that definitely. They have a huge. Thermo Fisher, it's a pharma company. Amazon, yes. Berkshire, 3M, and Altria.
Yeah,
I guess
Altria has a wide moat.
Marlboro, yeah. Bristol Myers Squibb, Honeywell, 3M, Berkshire. It's really scattered, if I'm
They
being
do have Bank of
honest.
America. Yeah, it's really weird. So one thing I do say, I do like that they have Comcast in there, though. I think that's
Ooh.
one of the better things they have. Comcast, Disney, Google.
I think their
Yeah.
top holdings aren't that good, but like the other like 1 to
I'm weird. I'm honestly weirded out by Salesforce and Equifax being at the top of this list. I don't understand it, to be very frank with you.
All right. So to give our full answers, we think it's a little scattered. There's not a whole lot of direction, and there are some head scratcher companies in there. Thank you for the question. To move on to Pfizer. Now, I am a person that believes in free market, all that good stuff. But when you're paying Travis Kelce $30 million and your dividend looks like this with its growth rates after the kind of free cash flow you had, that is under inflation. Historically, it's like that. You'd think with all that COVID money that they're getting and all the ads that they're getting from Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, you'd think they'd have a bit of better dividend growth rate. Move on to the free cash flow, and I don't remember this being crazy good. All right, they've had a few good years. Do you cover Pfizer closely?
Not closely, no.
All right.
I will say though that the COVID money that you talked about, that's drying up, and that's the issue, and that's why.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Like, just not a whole lot of like it's there, but like not a whole lot of growth really. Taking out that 2010
that's an issue. Yeah, they got this big surge of revenue from the vaccinations, and then
it's drying up now.
Yeah, and they're basically suffering slightly delayed, but kind of right along Walgreens in that perspective, because they, vaccines, test kits, and that kind of stuff were big for a minute, and now they're going away.
I also believe it falls into what many call the yield trap, even though their P isn't 15. That's fake news. Pfizer forward P ratio. Oh wow, it is actually 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
all right, that surprises me.
A lot. Yeah,
right.
So it's like, I think
it's a lot of money for some underperformance recently.
I think my numbers had it pretty close to an entry point if I was interested, but I have a little bit of I do have a little bit of it in the SCHD destroyer, of course, but those aren't concentrated investments. Those are like fractional shares.
Yeah, Frank, it's a cash cow, but it's not really growing that cash. You know what I mean? Like, it's very like there's a lot of skepticism about it when you got a company like AbbVie here, which is the pharma company that I happen to own. There's just a lot more consistency, and I'm sure that Humira will have an effect on it eventually here, but I just don't love. They're getting a whole lot of money from these vaccines, and they aren't. You know what I mean? There's just underperformance at the end of the day, and not great free cash flow, predictability, consistency, all that. All right, we got some more questions here, and of course, our boy Matt, the dividend prophet, came in clutch with some of these questions.
Okay,
his first question is thoughts and opinions on Celsius. It's an interesting holding.
Is there a caffeine bubble, as JC calls it? Disagree
on the caffeine bubble, that's for sure. Joseph's he's just salty that he sold out of Starbucks. That's what he is. And he's terrified of anything close to retail. He doesn't like the fact that Starbucks is in a few Target stores, and he won't buy it.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy to be petty and hold that against it. So yeah, I haven't really looked at Celsius stock specifically. I know there are some people very enthusiastic about it out there.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, when it comes to energy drink stocks, I would be more looking at getting a good entry point on something like Monster, because they own so many strong brands in that space already. And I feel like anything else that comes up would just end up being a target. I mean, and maybe this is good for Celsius or others like them, but you're a target to be gobbled up by Monster potentially.
Yeah. I'll say this, and this could sound a little stupid. I feel like Celsius has been more of a trend, like as the last like 2-3 years, and I think a company like Monster has kind of had that track record. And another thing, I've never like had or Celsius. I'm not a consumer. I'm not familiar with how strong their brand is. How addicted people really are, if they are at all. So, I'm not personally like looking at it. It's an interesting company to definitely watch, but no. And then his last question is, what are your guys' thoughts on Cosmics? Ooh, it's bringing me free cash flow. And McDonald's' premium is starting to be justified. Cosmics, though, I'm wowed at how their demand has been. I saw they had like a whole parking lot full of
Really?
cars lined up for it. Now, there are some thoughts and rumors that this will eat into Starbucks' market share, which I think you got a candy stick up your ass if you really think that. But no, I don't think that Cosmics is going to be a competitor to Starbucks. I do like it, though, as a McDonald's shareholder. Roughly, what now? What would that make it? 5% of my portfolio is in McDonald's right now. I have a pretty sizable holding in it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have McDonald's again. That's in my SCHD destroyer, and that's just because McDonald's is a well-oiled machine as far as producing cash and rewarding shareholders. And yeah, like you're not going to get insane growth out of them, but you're going to get a very predictable, well-run business, and it's going to be a silent compounder in the portfolio.
I have a hot take here. This is again, you guys come back to this. I predict that Cosmics will split off from McDonald's at some point, one way or another.
Like they'll IPO it.
I could see that.
Spin it off.
I could see it getting big enough for them to do that.
That'd
I
be
could
cool.
also see potential, this maybe government intervention. I think it would be successful, but I could see that dirty witch Lena Khan, who hates anything fun and any stock that I own, and her trying to get into it.
Anti-American.
Oh, Alex comes in. Alex, you got to also make a trade on our 100K challenge too. I hope you saw the mention in the Discord, but please make a trade if you're not eligible yet. Thank you. Their location near me is as good. And my friend lives by it. They said always swamped. I bet there's a lot of hype and I'm really curious to see how it does when the hype starts dying down. You know what I mean? If it remains this way, I think that'd be crazy for them. But they're innovating for sure. McDonald's is a real estate business that happens to sell burgers. Like how Starbucks is a bank that happens to sell drinks.
I mean, I've heard that McDonald's is a real estate thing so many times.
Yeah. And Domino's is a tech company that happens to sell pizza.
Yeah.
Roberto asked for a front double bicep from you.
A front double bicep?
Are we keeping this double? Oh. We can't be doing we got to save that for the members only content eventually someday.
I'm sorry.
That's losing us money. That's $5 down the drain right there.
Unbelievable. Yeah, next time I'll make you do a super for that.
Yeah, we'll make you pay
once we unlock that feature. I mean,
people buy Celsius and Monster not for the taste or the energy. They buy it for the image. The need to push the brand to do. I'm a little confused there. I think people would buy it for the taste and energy.
I do somewhat disagree. Like, I like to buy an assortment of. I'm a bit of an energy drink connoisseur, if I do say so myself. And I have for each major brand that I consume regularly, I have my go-to flavors. But I try like a lot of the new ones that come out and stuff. I just my favorite is NOS Zero. How often do you see people parading those around?
Yeah.
It's not really it doesn't have the branding that Monster has. Actually, I think they might be owned by them. Everybody's owned by Monster these days. But yeah, for me, it is more about yes, I need at least 300 milligrams of caffeine in the morning to function. And
likewise.
Exactly. I'm you could say I'm addicted.
And Unknown asks a really good question. He asked, how much does Starbucks actually benefit for being a bank? $980 million and being accused of slave-like working conditions. That's my answer. That's how much they benefit from it. No, they benefit lots from it. I could pull up I'll pull up how much they exactly got last year from. How much did Starbucks receive? But no, a lot of people are trying to catch on to it, not happy about it.
Is that because of the gift cards?
$1.8 billion in the last quarter. Yeah, the gift cards, and when you load money onto the app to pay, I believe you can't withdraw it. So a lot of people are not happy about that.
Oh, that's one of the better flavors.
Oh, I got arguments now.
I mean, I think the Ultra Fiesta in the like shiny teal, greenish, bluish can is probably better, but I mean, yeah, the white can used to be a go-to for me.
Mm-hmm. So there are multiple reports coming out that Gen Z, people in my generation, they're not investing as much. They're being more content with staying home, not being a real man's investor, living off of mommy and daddy's paychecks.
Yeah.
Now, I personally think that's a bunch of candy ass shit right there. What do you think for like the next generation? I think we're a little doomed.
You know, it's funny. In private, I talk to people about this. In fact, there's a guy where I work who's like a few years older than you, but he's still Gen Z. Like, I guess older Gen Z. And I've told him, like, I feel like his generation needs a lot of help. and he more or less agrees with me. It's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly.
I think a lot of
this
people...
might make me sound like a boomer, being like, nobody wants to work anymore. But it's like, just, I don't know. It's like the boys are all confused, and they're like they're afraid to like be men in a lot of cases, and they're not doing real man's investing.
They're not lifting. They're not doing real man's investing.
Yeah, they all got to tell you their pronouns. Out the gate, just so you don't get confused. I always just look down.
You gotta watch it. We're gonna have Lena Khan coming on the channel, which brings me to my next point.
Cancel me if you need to, but
you can't cancel the Cash Flow Kings live every 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah,
we're only gonna sell out at 500 subscribers and move to Hollywood and be odd people.
You can't cancel these delts and traps, buddy. So, yeah, it's very worrisome. There are a lot of them, actually, a lot of the guys your age and, you know, a few years older, afraid to ask girls out.
Hey,
I've seen that.
That's candy ass shit right there. We have lots of ladies watching.
Which that's fine, because like more for me and stuff. But
whoa, whoa, okay, get the.
But I'll try to leave some for the rest of you.
I want to talk about a particular girl, and actually, I don't know if you can call this a girl because she's a witch. Lena Khan.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Meet Kevin.
No, well, yeah, but Lena Khan, she's a dirty witch. I don't like her personally. She has had multiple targeted attacks against, you know, big tech, the big 6, 7, whatever you want to call it. Companies that make a lot of money and have a good business model. That's what I like to call it.
We can't have businesses turning a profit,
and
that would be sacrilege.
One, I'm a little worried she'll start targeting Starbucks. I could see that. That's a future I could personally envision. Lawyers be a little bit. So, what are your thoughts on Lena Khan? How much do you actually know about her? And she's tried to block Kroger. She's tried to block.
I've heard about
Microsoft.
That. You know, there is the argument that she's in. I mean, she's basically a political appointee, right? But you could say that the existence of that job in the first place is to, you know, block monopolies or whatever. So you could just, there could be the argument that she's just doing her job, but
You look at her history.
I prefer that businesses be allowed to conduct business unless there's a very good reason, like a very, very strong good reason to block free enterprise.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's the funny part because, like, you can look at what she's tried to do. She
Mm.
hasn't been successful in anything. And it's just like, it's just like literally putting a dark cloud over a stock and making it just kind of trade neutral just because you don't like it. That's kind of what's going on with Kroger right now, in my opinion. That's just like it's been trading flat because dirty witch Lena Khan doesn't want to see Ryan get my big dividend from the Kroger Albertsons deal. So we'll move on from that. We got CJ investing on the chat. Stuff goes down when CJ gets in here. So welcome in.
It gets crazy. It's about to get wild up in this.
I feel like Dangler's at Joseph Carlson. His fiscal is everything money.
I don't know. I have quite a few. I have quite a few stocks that I don't think Paul and Mo quite understand.
Rest in peace, Seth.
I wish they'd bring that guy back.
Well, we should bring him on for the 100th episode. We should totally bring on Seth.
I think I still know what his Instagram is. I'll try to reach out. But
that'd be awesome.
But I think the reason he got kicked off was because he actually went on some channels like without getting Paul's permission, because he went on Strongman.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that they don't like Strongman, so I think that's why they fired Seth.
This is such fake news. If we ever had Joseph Carlson, that'd be hilarious. I could see the Joseph Carlson argument. I mean, like,
so yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, I do definitely have some things in common with their. They I guess they also use the cigar butt method of investing. So
yeah. Stubulo's buying MPW.
Yeah, I know it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we typically do a 5-minute warning, but we'll do an 8-minute warning. We have about 8 minutes left in the stream. So please, everybody, drop your final questions that you have in now. We'd love to answer them. We'd love to drop them in. But no, we have some crazy guests lined up for the next couple of weeks. And Unknown makes a great point that national monopolies are impossible to stop. Very strong stream tonight, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming out, though. In all seriousness, we're growing this. We're growing this MFer, as the kids say.
We are. Remember, you got to eat big to get big.
Yeah.
That's some rich Piana bodybuilding wisdom right there.
5%.
5% for life.
We got to get like dream guests, because we want to do we have one channel with 20K coming on in 2 weeks and one with 1K, but he's been growing pretty fast in the next few weeks, and he's really interesting guests for both of them. But let us know in your comment section, what are your dream guest recommendations? We obviously Strongman's going to be on there at some point. Maybe they'll be like the 50th or 100th.
Well, he's going to say that we're degenerate stock pickers.
Yeah, he'll just play VTI.
No, it's just VT.
It's VT. Okay.
Whole world stock market.
Yep. VT.
Market cap weights over 2,000 stocks.
Yes. Yeah, we got to get
We can do like a bodybuilding show, me versus Strongman.
I'll just be in the back. Yeah. Fatal Investing is a smaller channel. Who's Fatal Investing? But he's a technical analysis guy. Huh. Speaking of that, have I talked to you about the AI channel?
Mm-hmm.
So there is a AI channel now. Like you think Dividend Talks is bad? This guy makes Dividend Talks look like a choir boy. The channel is called Dividend Dynamics, and it's literally AI. It's literally an AI channel. I swear to God. I reported it already because I'm about that life. I'm for the community, but you could hear like the robot talking. Hello, welcome back. Today we will be talking about AT&T stock.
Should I just use an Austrian accent? Will I sound more like a robot if I do that?
We'll get more views, and we could put like stock people in our thumbnails now. Stock, we can't bring Stock Mo on the channel. That'd be a boring guest.
He'll tell us how to get into Dogecoin and
He
Neo
wears
stock.
dorky hat. It's called technical analogy. You got to respect the lines. Check astrology. My bad.
Yeah, yeah, just pull up a chart, draw some lines and some shapes, and pretend it means something.
Absolutely. So, Fiscal, did you get any big dividends this week for the weekly recap preview? Do you get any?
I did, and
Ooh.
all I'm gonna say is, if you want a hint as to what big dividend I got this week, watch the movie Aladdin.
Oh. I thought that's a riddle right there. Would you like to talk about MPW? I know you mentioned if it actually went to $1, you'd go all in.
I did. I asked if anybody thinks that would be a good idea. It was a hypothetical.
At the house.
Yeah, but I will say, just to kind of end things on that, and like hopefully we don't have to bring it up every single week, because I do get tired of talking about the same exact stock all the time. I'm a little tired of everybody who doesn't have any MPW, has never listened to an earnings call, has never actually really looked at the financials, looked at a 10K, a 10Q,
50-50 bankruptcy.
making quick, easy, cheap clickbait MPW videos, looking at a chart saying, it looks pretty bad to me, and getting thousands of views out of it for like no effort, and that's nobody in particular, actually. Talks, a certain talking channel with an accent does it.
Going over our dividends later.
Even some people that I like have done it. Multiple people that I like have done it.
Oh, including me?
I can't remember.
I made one
I watched
video
I
on it. I don't
watched
want to
all
hear
of
it.
them, but I mean, I think you only did one though, and then
Yeah.
you let it go, right?
And it was with Walgreens too, so it wasn't a direct. And I didn't put 3
Yeah.
red arrows in the
So
thumbnail.
I think you didn't copy my thumbnail either. But
No.
I do think it is a little bit. It's a little bit annoying, because it's like, hey, these people are all piling on, and there's probably people watching that might be on the fence and like might click that sell button because of all the fact that they see that, like, of the videos on it, like 70% are negative or whatever. And I'm just saying, like, if you don't really understand it, maybe don't go in so hard on the negative. Try to present both sides if you don't own it,
Same
um
goes with some REIT companies that we may not know how their tax advantages work.
but I'm transparent, of course, in the videos I make, that I have the stock, and I just try to break down how the different things affect their financials to the best of my ability. And you know some they're even the company that has shorts on them is making videos saying they're going to go bankrupt, and they don't even explicitly necessarily mention the short position in the video,
Yeah, it's
which I think that's a little bit scumbaggy too. So, and a lot of the negative videos by people who don't own the stock don't even mention how heavily shorted it is, and that's probably weighing it down some. And I think that's not really too fair to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tough comes in at the end here if it's in trader range. Yeah, definitely. I will say this though, you're gonna look like one hell of a genius if it recovers. If it goes back to like 30.
Yeah, I'll get like 10K subscribers like that.
We gotta start selling a course then. Love the cash
Yeah.
like as we predicted it.
Yeah, I will be offering a course of how to buy MPW in 10x for only $597.
That's it. You can get it today too for $250 if you buy it today through midnight. All right, we're at the end of the show now. We got 30 seconds left on Fiscal. This is a heck of a show, you could say. We have some guests lined up for the next 2 weeks, though. And we think you guys are going to really like them. We promised you today. Unfortunately, we didn't deliver, and we take that very personally here. Well, we did all we could. It was uncontrollable. Double D's bailed on us. We'll remember that next time we debate. But thank you all guys once again so much for tuning in. We had, I think tonight was a high for viewership, like throughout. I think we were like 14 through 17 throughout, so we'll take it.
Indeed. I'll take it.
All right. I want to
slice it.
thank you all so much for coming in. Thank you to Citizen of the Year, Unknown, Guff, CJ, Roberto, a certified financial rouser, Alex, Noob Crunch. Thank you guys all so much for participating. And Frank. Don't think I forgot about you, Frank. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're matching tonight, so hit the like button. That's all we ask for. Help grow the channel. Benchmax, evade tax. Fiscal, where can the people find you?
Always in the description below. Also, follow me on Twitter. I know we mentioned that before, at Mr. Macho Mog. Please, I'm trying to get to 100. I'm way behind.
Yep. Follow him on Twitter, Mr. Macho Mog. Follow me on Twitter, at Ryan Dingler Show. Thank you all for watching. Do dividend stocks, not drugs. And of course, always remember at the end of the day, what's the most important principle? Cash flow
is
king. Oh, yeah.